Hello all and welcome to your last lesson in this unit talking about geometry. So we're going to talk about surface area today, so make sure you get your notes open and ready there. If you got stuck on anything involving the volumes of prisms from yesterday, please make sure that you nominate those in the forms attached because I'd love to help, and then check back in for posted videos or check in the comments. So let's get started on our last pages of notes. So we have a couple more formulas and vocabulary words, as you could probably imagine. The first is when we're talking about a cylinder, we talk about lateral area, and this is the area of the rectangular sides of the prism. So when we're talking about the sides, we've got, in this case, if I'm looking here, the side would be this space here. This is the lateral area. And then as we talked about with volume, the base is the non-rectangular side, so in this case, a circle. So lateral area, base area. Now the formula for the lateral area is, in general, the perimeter of the base times the height of the prism. So just like area is base times, volume is base times height, this is the perimeter, right? Remember that may mean circumference if it's a circle of the base. And then height, as always, is the height of the prism, which is the distance between the two bases. So in this case, we're looking at the same prism from last week. 15 is the height of the prism right there. Now, lateral area is not the entire total surface area. The entire total surface area is going to be that lateral area plus the area of the two bases. So in this case, if I was going to write it out as a total equation, I would say perimeter times height plus 2b. Again, this big B is the area of the base, just like it was in the volume formula. So looking here, number 1 asks us to find the surface area of the cylinder. So in this case, I will say the surface area formula is perimeter times height plus 2b. Since our base is a circle, that would be, the base is 2 pi r, since that is the area of the circle. And perimeter for circles, remember, is c for circumference, which is equal, in the case of here, we're pi times diameter, and then times height carried all the way down. So this is our actual formula that we will end up using for this particular cylinder. Now the surface area here we can look at pi, the diameter is 4, the height is 15, plus 2 times pi times radius squared. So if you recall from our previous lesson, 4 is the distance all the way across, that's the diameter. The radius then is 2 meters, like so. Now, all we need to do is evaluate and simplify. 4 times 15 is 60 pi for the lateral area, plus 2 times pi times 2 squared is 2 times 4, so that would be 8 pi. Now, you'll notice these are like terms because they both are in terms of pi. Now, if this was 60 and 12, those would also be like terms, but if it was 60 and 8 pi, so if one was in terms of pi, one wasn't, you couldn't combine them. This ends up being 68 pi, however, and then its surface area. So even though it's a 3D shape, it's area, so we measure in meters squared. Let's look at a triangular prism, since we haven't done that yet. Here, again, we know it's our base is a triangle because the base is always going to be the non-rectangular shape. So if you look at your shapes and you see a non-rectangular one, that's the base here. So the base is a triangle, which is 1/2 base times height, little base, little height of the triangle, which in this case would be the base of this triangle is 8, and the height of the triangle is 3, meaning that the area of the base is 4 times 3, which is 12. If we want to include the unit, its area would be centimeters squared. Now, so that gives us the first surface area is equal to perimeter times h plus 2b. We now know b is 12 times 2. We know that the height of the prism here is 10, but we still don't know the perimeter of the base. And this is where we're going to use our Pythagorean theorem. So if I'm looking at this base here, I've got a right triangle with the right angle in there like so. If it's 8 centimeters, it's an isosceles triangle right up and down. This is 4 centimeters. So using my Pythagorean theorem to find this unknown side length, which I'm actually going to call C since it is the one across from the right angle, I end up with 3 squared plus 4 squared equals C squared. So 9 plus 16 is equal to C squared. 25 is equal to C squared. I don't even need my calculator for this one, because then the slanted sides are both 5 centimeters. So 5 centimeters here, 5 centimeters, and then the perimeter of the base is 8 on the bottom here, plus 5 plus 5, meaning that the perimeter of our base is 18 centimeters. Plugging that in as our final step here, we end up with 18 times 10 plus 2 times 12. No need to worry about terms of pi here since there's no circles. 180 plus 24 equals 204. The unit is centimeters, and since it's area, they are squared. Let me know if you have any questions about anything from chapters 5 or 6, and I look forward to talking to you all on your Zoom calls.